Okay, I don't know why I didn't think of this before, but I was coming out here to take my forms off so I could get my termite pre-treatment, and being a bit of a pain because of course all this that pushed up underneath, which when we poured it I figured would break off fairly easily, is not breaking off fairly easily at all. Okay, yesterday was bone breaking or back breaking. I really kicked my butt. Luckily Natalie's dad came out and helped unscrew things while I popped them off. Okay, I'm finishing up my drain tile. Got it around two sides. So what I've got here is I've sloped from high point in this corner down to my low point, and that's going to drain off down into the ditch. So we did a layer of clay, and then this is our first layer of AB3. I'll get a whole nother layer of AB3 out here, level it again, compact it again, and then try and get it to where I'm 2 inches below the top of my footing, and then I'll start putting down the 2 inches of rigid foam and my vapor barrier, and then start putting the rebar on and tying all that in. Okay, I'm getting closer and closer. I think I'm done putting in AB3 and packing it down. The next phase is going to be using chip to raise it up to my 2-inch level. Okay, starting to frame it up. When I went to pick up lumber today, it was surprising because treated was actually cheaper than untreated, which is odd. So anyways, what the plan is, first I gotta line up this corner because this is where my plumbing is, and if I get this off then I'm gonna have troubles down the road. So I made sure that my stool was correct off of both sides, and my riser for the this is the vent pipe, and the laundry room, this is inside a wall, so I made sure that these lined up good. Anyways, this corner is set, and then I'm going to work off this corner down to that corner, which should be exactly 40 feet. And then I'll work down to that corner, which should be exactly 70 feet. And then from that corner, 40 feet. And then I can exit, which is you cross each direction. If your measurements are the same, then you're perfectly square. So about this time tomorrow night, maybe a little bit later, I need to be out here so I can run the laser. I'll put it somewhere here in the center and then just walk around, find the highest spot, and then everything has to be level off that highest spot. So what I'll do is get a Sharpie and just go around, and then I'll write on it how high up it needs to go. Yeah, we pretty much finished up the inside today. This has been all leveled. This is what the insulation will go on top of. So I've got to rent the packer again and pack it all down. Went ahead and finish the framing. Okay, today we're going to be putting the foam down. This is 1.5 inches. The 2-inch was just a lot more expensive, and I didn't think I'd get that much of an increase in R value out of it. So one thing to look at is this foam has got a tinfoil side and the non-tinfoil side. The tinfoil side will actually reflect the heat. We want it to absorb the heat and to reflect the cold. So the tinfoil side goes down. It's supposed to be really windy tomorrow. So the goal today is to get all the insulation down and all the plastic down, and then lay rebar out on it. ready to do the radiant heat flooring. As in the previous video, it rained, so I was trying to blow all the water off, and it looks like pretty much all the water is off. It's all, there's a couple tiny puddles, but we don't have rain. It took it all out for the rest of the week, so unless something changes, we'll be good to go to pour in a couple days. This radiant floor is the last thing I need to put down. Again, sorry for the wind. So I've got everything set up here, and I got my 60 pounds of pressure. This little gauge is supposed to keep it in line. Well, now it's ticking. So I didn't realize. Now I've got 60 pounds. So what you do is you leave the air pressure in there, and then check it again tomorrow. Make sure that it hasn't gone down at all. It may go down, you know, as the day cools, because right now it's kind of sunny and it's about 75. So as the day cools, of course, the pressure is going to go down a little bit. But as long as I haven't lost, you know, probably more than 5-10 pounds of pressure, then I'm good to go. Okay, I'm marking anchor bolts now, so you can see my tick marks right there. So what I did is put this in AutoCAD, and I ran it as if I started a wall from either end, and lined up all the studs where they'd be centered at. And then determine that wherever I put an anchor bolt, no matter which way I frame it, I shouldn't have an anchor bolt landing on top of a stud. Okay, now I can sleep tonight. I redid the manifold. Looks wonderful. So before it was all just kind of a sloppy mess. But now I've got everything labeled. It's all attached to board, so it's all even with each other. I'm much happier with the way this has turned out versus the way it was before. It was just a mess. And perk is that it's now self-supporting. So I was sitting back in the hammock, just checking things out, relaxing while my new manifold over there was repressurizing the system, and I was just kind of looking across the top of the forms. And this form just didn't line up quite right. And looking back, you can see how there's this bow right here. So I've got an anchor bolt there and an anchor bolt there, and right here the wood bowed. And so luckily I was just sitting off and waiting for the lines to pressurize, and I just happened to notice that, so glad I did. I'm going to go through and drill a new hole right here, Tapcon that down, and then re-level it. Well, the guys will be pouring the concrete tomorrow. Just left and said everything looks good. So they'll be out here at 7:30 to start the pour. at this beautiful sky.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Looks like a dead fish.
Oh my god.